Jason, special touch. Either way, guys, we are with Ince for the time being. They managed to get a frag on the board quite quickly afterwards. Ince has located one of them down the bottom, and it looks like they were trying to join each other to work as a bit of a partnership instead of being separated on the map. But Zron managed to pick off Wenger in the meantime.
And honestly, Zron is one of like the craziest players that I've seen. I've had the luxury of watching and casting because I'm pointing this out when I was talking with Ketchup. He's one of those players that just always uses the right gun at the right time, every time, to do max amount of damage over and over again. And he's such a deadly factor, a deadly force when you have to kind of play up against him. But we'll see. I mean, we haven't really watched them play yet today because they're obviously coming into this with one game under their belts. Zron does get the kill into Wenger, though.
Let's have a look if Zron can do anything as we're now building up towards that first power-up. Only a rotation behind, but he's going to get caught up the bounce pad. And going to get some easy LG. Tox might be sandwiched just as this heavy gets taken. So Ince is able to stack up a bit. Zron comes down the bounce pad. LG going up versus the nail gun. He's looking to close it off, but I think he just got healed by the totem. And then Ince's push looks a little bit less fortuitous.
That's still insane dodging skills by Ince. He got hit by 2 nails the entire time there.
Wow.
That's it. I would have probably eaten every single one of them just because I'm terrible at the game. But just a dodge on that low HP, and then Zron does go through the teleport and gets finished off by Wenger with the Galena. Now Toxic with the nail gun. He did some serious work to Wenger as well. He has to be low HP.
Oh, Wenger just gets picked off by Zron. Is Zron going to be able to chase this one? Ince is going to be nearby. He's got the machine gun down on him, but he still gets the rail. He's on 6 points of health. Wenger manages to find him anyway. So that was a really heavily contested early quad damage between them. Comrade are only 3 frags behind.
Funny enough, Wenger did have the quad initially, died, and then got it back again. So he eventually got it, and then he's like, hey, thanks, Ron. Thanks for holding it for me for now, as he come back with full HP. But he hasn't really accomplished anything off the quad just yet. Might get 1 frag here, might not even.
What?
Toxic. That's Toxic, right?
Yeah.
He went head-to-head against LG with his own LG when the guy had quad and came out and won.
The thing is, when you bring Tox to LAN, suddenly the game changes. The guy is such a monster. And for a player like Zron, you were talking about him earlier and how good he is, it's really difficult for Zron to sort of take any of the limelight when he's with Tox, who is just an absolute monster. We got LG hitting rails as well. Let's see if Tox can find himself another angle too.
Just insane stuff out of this man. Again, like he hardly misses anything. 13-8. And that is still with Ice Climbers not picking up the first quad, or not having full control of it, as they did have it for a split second was wrong. Well, they're trying to set up. Actually, they're not trying to set up for anything. They're just trying to get around the map here. Toxic's just trying to get, restacked up on his armor. He's looking for a couple of frags. They're kind of split from each other this time. As you can see, Wenger and Inz, though, with the X-ray are sitting there hand in hand.
I'm going to quickly move away from Tox just to see what the kind of the mission is now for Wenger and Inz. That Tox.
That was disgusting.
Well, it just deletes Ince off the map for a moment.
Yeah, and he also got Wenger. He hit like Wenger directly and almost finished him off on that. Like took him very low on HP, and that's the time that Tox invested into getting stacked up, working out for him.
Oh my God, Tox gets the LG off and Ince, looking for machine gun as well. Wenger, he's got 1 point of health left. Zron comes in with a fresh spawn, but Wenger does close out that fight. And it looks like Ince and Wenger are going to get themselves another power-up. So they've been playing very well on power-ups early on. He does need help pushing in on Tox. He's not super healthy, but with this heavy armor, all of a sudden he's rejuvenated, and Zron's going to go down as well.
But I'm mistaken. Wenger used to play like the Doom role for the team.
Yes.
And they only recently switched him over to the Galena, if I'm not mistaken. And they let Ince play more of like the Dooms and the Visors to be more aggressive. Do you personally know why that was done? Because I know you're very close with both players.
It's because Wenger is actually almost too aggressive, and him taking that Doom role, he was almost moving too far away from Ince in a lot of fights. Now him being that Galena, more of the staple pick where you're holding back some positions, trying to get totems around the map and enable Ince on the Visor, it's kind of made him a little bit less crazy, because that's really what he wants to do, is jump about with the Doom, go into Berserk, punch people, double jump around the map. But allowing Ince to take that role has been really beneficial for them instead.
So far, it seemed to be definitely beneficial. I mean, 15-11, very close game between the two teams. The only times we've ever seen Zron and Tox not just completely one-sidedly have a match was against like Claws and Silence Up.
Yeah.
At least in recent results or recent tournaments I can think of.
Well, Tox and Zron still looking to make further headway. They've got a 5-frag advantage now, but they're not going to consider this enough for the moment. They want to keep on barreling ahead. It's going to be down to Wenger and Ince, though, to continue hitting those shots. keep up the good coordination and especially the work on the power-up that they've been doing.
Oh, that's a risky push. Yeah, Zeron's there to help finish him off. Wenger does go down. Heavy up in 9 seconds. They almost have to guarantee concede this. But then again, a couple of players on low life and using that piercing sight, so you won't have it for quad.
I don't really like the piercing sight used there. Exactly as you said, not having it for quad or shortly after, it's going to be quite hard to defend. A lot of spam coming out on this side, maybe able to hold them away for a couple more seconds, but all of a sudden, Zeron and Tox decided this is the moment we want to come in. Wenger getting 1 kill. The quad has been taken, but maybe a rocket can land for him. He's only 6 points of health, though. Although, okay, Ince. 1 rail, but not enough. Tox with it in hand. Let's see if he can get a bit of a charge going.
Pretty sure. It's a very famous video out there, the 50-0 that this man here on your screen pulled off in FFA. And you're going to see, I mean, with him on Visor, like he was already deadly enough on his aim, but with his movement combined with the piercing sight, he just becomes that much more of a threat. Not able to get too many kills off the quad, but then again, it wasn't planned that he was going to get it since Zeron did get dropped by Ins. Was still able to make some serious good work out of it. Again, that flick coming through, 23-13. That 5-kill lead has now lengthened to 10.
Ents does manage to 1v1 Zeron, but Tox is about to pick up this heavy, and his stack is going next level now. There's 1 rail. Finds the angle into Ents.
The way he peeks is just, it's so deadly. He knows exactly how far he needs to do or to move to get around that corner to hit that shot, with giving away minimal time for his enemy to hit a shot too. So well done.
Well, he's searching for angles at the upper light, but there's going to be no one there for the moment. We're now seeing a 10 frag advantage for Ice Climbers. That LG coming in. There is support on the other side from Comrade, so they're still putting the pressure on. 45 health left. Wow, and they actually close him out. I really thought the Tox with the stack that he had was going to be able to at least take one of them down.
We saw him use the LG on one of the players. I think that was Wenger, and then he used 1 rocket and immediately turned it away, assuming he was going to get the kill. So he might not have gotten that, but the person should be on extremely low life. I think it's going to be Wenger at 69 at the moment. Zeron did come through and not able to get the kill, but they're still holding on to a 9-kill lead. Protection up in 20 seconds. Toxic. See, this is what I'm really curious about, because like the downside, okay, the upside obviously with Visor Galena is the vision and the totems, right? And the speed you have and the tankiness. But the downside is you're both heavily fighting for these hourglasses. You're both heavily fighting to keep your ability off of cooldown. And it seems like Zeron's almost conceding a lot of the hourglasses over to Toxic, so he has that piercing setup more often.
Tox a little bit late. Wenger can't get himself onto it. Totem does hurt Tox, but since he has protection, it's not going to bother him much at all. Now that's an 11 frag advantage, and with the rest of protection to play out, you can expect that to go up a bit. Question is, where are the Comrade guys? Zeron giving him the information. Unfortunately for Zeron, he'll go down, but Tox, again, breathing new life into his play with that added heavy armor.
Yeah, he's out of LG, he's out of rockets. He's got the rail, though, and maybe the rail's all he needs. He hits another shot. Piercing sight comes through. He's going to miss that shot. He's not going to miss the second, though, as it comes through with him and Zeron tag teaming Ins. And then the machine gun at the end. Wenger should be going down here in just a second.
Struggling to hit those last shots, but does get it in the end. It's fine. We can overlook that.
31-18. Good scoreline here out of Ice Climbers. It's a best of 3. I don't know what the rest of the maps are, so unfortunately I can't give you the information. And I don't know who picked this map.
I do think it would be a Ice Climbers pick personally. But
yeah, I think we're probably going to like Keep
right
next.
Possibly Awoken, because I've been seeing a lot of picks from that from Comrade in the past. But it's going to be more tailored to Ice Climbers themselves, knowing what they're good at, what are they weak at.
I'd take away the rail from them, IMO. And these can control the LG on CK if that's the map we're going to next. Anyways, that's obviously not coming on the plate just yet. Strong gets another kill. Toxic. I swear, I want to see like on average how many piercing sights he gets off in a game, because it has to be so much substantially higher than like the next Visor.
Well, let's see if they can push a little harder now, because we've still got over 5 minutes to go. It's been a relatively slow game when you normally compare these two teams. I really think that Comrade are trying to sort of mitigate the amount of damage they're taking a lot of the time. But at the end of the day, they've got a very, very big job to do in these last 5 minutes. Tox so much health and armor. I really feel like Comrade have struggled with control and maybe played a little bit too passively at times. It's just slowly allowing those frags to trickle into the way of Ice Climbers. Oh! Totem comes down. Wenger looking for another rail, but it is Zeron who's got hold of it.
Wenger ends up using that lower T spot quite often now with the rail to actually punish Ice Climbers going for these pickups over and over.
Zron's got Mega. He's going to find one in a second. He should have the stack for it. No problem at all. 20 frags in the lead. And I think Zron's going to be happy with this. He's expecting to get himself the win here and get a relatively breezy way into day 2. But it's not over yet. Tox getting himself a double kill. I think I'll have to go and watch him now.
Well, speaking of Zron, I mean, he's already accomplished in this year, winning the major duel tournament that we have had, the Beat Invitational, back a few months ago. Actually played the most, I mean, besides, if you compared average rounds per game or per match, he played the most hands down compared to every other player. And that had like the likes of Cooler, Cypher, Razy, Sparty, Toxic was even in there. Avic, I mean, we had so many phenomenal players, and he was still able to prove to be one of the best. And he's trying to do it yet again here, but now this time in 2s.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people are going to look at this this partnership between Tox and Zron, and they're going to look at Tox and thinking he's the sort of the holy man, really, right? They're going to think that he's the guy who's got the name and got the skills, and Zron's kind of there to, you know, give him the glory. Zron, in my opinion, is actually a better all-round player than Tox. Hasn't got the same combat skills as Tox, but his profound knowledge of the game and the way he strategizes and kind of pushes Tox around the map and dictates what he does is so underappreciated by the community. And hopefully, for Zron, he's going to keep being able to get the results to, I think, validate himself in that way.
No, that's like 200 damage now done. He gets another kill. Inns has to be low. Zron might be there to finish him off. Just pick up the rocket launcher. Totem comes down just a little bit too late, though. But Tox is going to be there to finish off that kill. And now it's just 3 frags left to go. 47 to 24.
He never picked up the protection. Oh, okay, Ints comes in the end. He's trying to close the gap a little bit. Does get the machine gun kill onto Zron. Be a nice time to pick up a few more frags. Try and generate a bit of confidence moving into the next map.
Protection's halfway done. Let's have the piercing steps so we can see them, but can he chase on them correctly and at the right pace? 80 damage with the rail. Rockets raining from the top side, and Venger's going to be stealing it away from him. So let's get another one on the board, but I mean, if we were just to be blatantly honest here, Zoo, it looks like Ice Climbers, they still have time to work with.
Yeah.
I mean, they can basically hold spawns and probably still win because there's only 3 minutes left to go on the map. Sorry, 2 minutes left to go on the map.
Yeah, for sure. I'd really like to see, because there's such a meticulous nature by Zron and Tox in terms of being there for each other in the fights, really minimizing the amount of 1 versus 2 engagements for one of the players. I feel like sometimes Comrade is still getting caught off guard by Ice Climbers, and they're allowing themselves to get picked off of it, which is why we slowly see that frag lead get bigger and bigger as the map goes on. Obviously, the combat skills are going to be slightly in favor of Ice Climbers, not by much. Instant and Wenger are incredibly talented players, but I feel like they can just tweak those gears a little bit and bring themselves to the next level and possibly be very competitive in map 2.
Well, last frag might be coming in here second. There it is. Ice Climbers. Fairly easy walk to the park for them in the first map, but it's not over just yet.
It's not.
Inns and Wenger have a chance coming into the second map, which we'll be finding out shortly. That's what we expected, right? That's Ron, so, that's Toxic, that's the kind of games that we've seen them have time and time again.
If anything, for me, it was better than expected by Ice Climbers. I've been getting a little bit anxious for Zron and Tox. I feel like their practice and what they've been showing in the very final moments of preparation leading up to the event, I feel like it's been a bit more lackluster than it has been positive. If you asked me a month ago, I would have said Zron and Tox could take the win here, no problem, at Dreamhack Tour. But now I'm thinking, oh, actually, there's a lot of other teams that could even be looking stronger. So I think it's going to be important for Tox and Zron to keep their focus going and really demonstrate that they're here for a title. I know Zron would personally be, you know, highly disappointed if he couldn't get the win here.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think either way, Zron's going to be highly disappointed if they don't win the whole tournament.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever going to be satisfied unless he's #1. That's just kind of the person he is.
Oh, he's
even though he's like a very chilled, laid-back guy, like you can see the passion to win.
Yeah, there's a huge amount of dedication that goes on behind closed curtains from Zron, and I think, especially being a QuakeCon world champion alongside the 2Z team, he's only looking to improve on that. He got top 4 at Dreamhack Winter. I know already that affected him a lot in terms of how he felt his team performed. So he does not want to let these things happen again. He's looking for complete annihilation in the Quake scene.
Well, Zoo, it looks like I might be a messiah. Swerve is not told at production. It looks like we are going to Corrupt to keep next.
Nice. Good shot.
Almost as if I'm actually like picking up some things the more I cast Quake. You know, I'm learning.
It's good. You're getting there, Jason.
And
sorry, that sounded really condescending.
I mean, I'm used to it, though. I'm used to it. 9.5k damage. Remember that.
Yeah.
Yep. I did carry though. I did carry though in Blood Covenant. Let's be honest. There was a match like a day or two ago.
At this stage on Dreamhack Tour, you sound like you're trying to prove something right now.
We can have a sushi game if you want.
No. 0-4 will cross me.
But no, yeah, head into Corrupted Keep. No more rail, so that does limit Tox and Zron.
It's LG though. LG, you
the
limit
thing.
the rail, and then it's like, oh, I still got to deal with his lightning gun. It's not like you win.
But that's the thing, like, LG is more manageable to control on this map than it is on most, because it's behind the statue. You have to go through the teleporter, so Galena's really strong. And we see most teams hold that location anyways, just like what we saw at Woken earlier with the preference for Team Liquid 2 to hold on towards rail in that map. So we'll see. They already have the LG spawn. We're seeing a clutch.
Are you reading this right?
Yeah. Maybe it was a misclick out of Zron. Okay, it might have been.
What? Okay, so he used the shield right at the beginning, and it wasn't positive. And then that happened. It's all right, guys. I think Zron's okay. Although I do know that he's been playing around with Clutch actually in practice and seeing actually what is the viability. Are there instances where he can make it work? And maybe because that first shield didn't give him a frag, he was like, all right, let's just move away. That first shield was that bad that I won't go with it.
I was like, you know, theory crafting with Ketchup once. Well, yeah, I was like playing against you. It was like, what if we did double clutch against you? Because you were saying you could beat us 1v2 because you just hide behind the other person's shield, but obviously you can't do that. Not allowed.
Make me sound really arrogant. You guys were saying that.
I mean, you did say you could beat us 1v2.
I mean, I agreed when you suggested it was possible.
Oh, come on. Well, a minute in, we are tied up. Looks like we're gonna see the Visor and Galena out of both teams, so kind of expected. A little bit sad to not see Doom as much though, but you know what? Doom has kind of taken a back seat lately with how strong LG can be here, especially on land.
Oh, completely. You can get punished so hard on Corrupted Keepers Doom. It's either you go in and you follow a strategy extremely strictly and you make it work, but otherwise I think you've got better odds to do this. It's easier to make fewer mistakes without him.
Not to mention the vision you get. I mean, the trade-off of like what you lose by playing him versus what you get by not playing him by using the Visor or the Galena, depending on who you have, is so impactful. But 7-5, Vanguard ins. Trying to set up for the quad, which is about 10 seconds away. They do have the high ground. If they can maintain, or I say high ground, the medium ground. If they can maintain this, would be fantastic. They've knocked one down, but Toxic comes back in with a big kill. Now it's a 2-on-1, 2 seconds left on the spawn. Toxic doesn't have the HP to really pick up the quad, so Zeron's going to secure it, but I don't know what his HP's at currently.
Right, let me see if I can find him. There we go.
90's all he really needs as long as he has an LG.
Hello. That's going to be both of the Comrade players going down in quick succession. Let's head on over and check out the comms a bit while we go through this power-up.
Nice. Rocket probably. I got fucked. Visor very low. Galena shot machine gun. Heavy now. I took heavy. Mega now. Nice. I got Mega too. Nail gun clean. Should be rocket. I lagged. Server lagged.
I think he said I got wrecked in that panel.
No, that's actually what I heard.
Yeah.
You know, there's actually, your brain hears what you want it to hear.
Yeah.
I definitely heard wrecked. But 16-6, I mean, you can hear, you know, Zeron's, he's making the calls like, all right, heavy next, mega next.
It's very...
on where he thinks they are, and he was right.
It's very heavy Zron calls though, isn't it? He is kind of saying everything, and Tox is just following suit and happy to comply, you know?
I mean, the thing is, like, it's kind of nice if you're Toxic, right? Because all you want to do is frag anyways, so as long as you're just taking the information that your teammate's giving you, you can just run around with no fear.
And that's what he's best at. His mechanical skills are some of the best in the game. And if you've got someone who can just enable that and allow you to wreck, then it's perfect.
So you're saying I'm the Zron to your Tox?
I'm not saying anything.
When we play twos together?
You need to let this go, Jason.
That's the only value I have. Just let me leave it. But this is you know, becoming just like we saw in Runes of Sarnath, 12 kill difference. Zron and Tox seem to be all this. Protection will be secured, but Int was too low to have enough HP to survive off of this, and Zeron's going to have a stack, an overstack, a potential complete overstack is actually going to get the heavy over to Tox to make them both healthy.
Absolutely. He's got almost full natural with the protection. There's no reason he needs to waste that extra 50 armor that Tox could be getting. He's going to rocket jump around the map. He's trying to control the spawns. He knows that it's coming at the opposite side, and he's just like, right, I'm going to pick them off one at a time. This is almost a full snowball effect that we're getting from Ice Climbers.
Jean's looking very comfortable too.
Oh my god. These nail gun to totem combos, you just can't survive this. Ince and Wenger really looking to just get themselves on the same page now. Even get to double digits.
Oh, there it is. That should be the 10th kill. As long as there's no ciphering happening.
Well, if they can keep control of some of the items themselves and lock down that LG, make sure they've both got it, then honestly, they can make back a few frags, but you've always got to take into account these just absurd combat skills that we're getting from Ice Climbers. Tox just barrels up towards LG and quickly dispatches them.
Yeah, that's what I talk about when I say using the right guns at the right time. Just switching machine guns, going for rockets long range. The rain of 15s coming down. I swear it was like an LG doing 15s at that point. Again, just doing so much damage with whatever gun he has available. Always using the right gun at the right time.
Well, Tox, can you get another? We saw him get everything 1 versus 2s earlier on. He sees that his health's getting a little bit low. He's got no more armor left. He's hoping for that heavy to be up in a moment, but realizes, you know what, I'm not going to make it. Let's back off, preserve life. The thing is, it might almost have been better for him to have died so that he can get ready for the quad that's going to be spawning in less than 10 seconds time.
Oh, he did die there.
That could be good timing for it, actually. He's going to come back pretty fresh now. He's on the sidelines. You got Ince, he just gets pushed off. He tries to go forward on Zron, but doesn't quite make it. Zron survives. We see Wenger. He manages to get the refrag, and he's going to give that over to Ince, who's only marginally more healthy than him.
He's going to spend most of his quad time trying to pick up health than he actually will be doing damage with. At least he's stacked with armor now, so he can be aggressive. Has about half the time left. Let's help pick up the first kill. Now Zron trying to run away, trying to gauntlet him at the same time.
There was 2 pummels from that, 150 damage overall. That is really, really painful. Ince is like, where did that damage come from? I need to chase.
Unfortunately, his chase is going to be over. 32 to 15, 32 to 16. They've doubled the amount of kills that Comrade Gaming do have. And again, Tox pick up the Mega. It just seems, honestly, when I'm watching Zron and Tox, the way they're jumping around the map, they just look so damn comfortable. They look so in the zone, like they're not afraid of really any of these fights. Honestly, it's just, it's a thing of beauty. It's like they're playing defrag at this rate.
Well, they've got to make sure that they keep this up. You don't want to ever get too comfortable, especially when you've got a large lead. We've seen in online tournaments how, you know, how many frags you can lose at the end if you do take your foot off the gas pedal.
And something I was saying with Ketchup earlier on is that, you know, going into tomorrow, if this team does qualify, to be very wary of your map score and your kill frag or your frag depth difference, because that's going to take into account if you get through to semifinals or quarterfinals if you finish first in your group. So a little bit of practice for tomorrow. That's what I was also saying that why I respect Rafa to hang so much, because every scrim I ever see that they stream, they play at 100% maximum effort every time. Even if they're winning 40 to 1, they still give it their full effort attention.
Yeah, exactly. You're not really practicing if you're not at 100%. You're not going to necessarily learn anything from it. So I think you've always got to give it to, or like create some simulations of some sort, however you want to see it. But we've got another power-up coming in a moment. We see Comrade get themselves over to 20 Ince. He's ready on the lower side. He's got Wenger down in the corner, but unfortunately not able to make anything happen. We're going to see Tox on another power-up run. How much closer to that elusive 50 mark can he get them?
Well, you can see him trying to chase down that one target, but he's just actually doing a really good job of just keeping his distance. But now Tox going for the cutoff, trying to go for the teleport. Tries to rocket jump up to preemptively predict it, but Ince, smartly enough, actually doesn't go through the porter just yet. Yeah, I called up porter. But either way, Zron's gonna be there to pick up the kill and actually pushes Wenger into Zron for another.
He's feeding the frags to Zron now, and Zron's more than happy to take control of that. Ince is looking at the teleporter exit, hoping that one of them is going to walk through, fall into a trap.
Can we take a look at the scoreboard really quickly, just to, you know, kind of gauge things on how how the players have been doing here? Tox are pretty split.
Very even with Tox and Zron. A few more deaths on the side of Zron. Wenger on 7 though, Ince on 13, something they obviously want to overlook, but they know that going versus opponents like this, that it's it's really hard to pick up steam as well.
And I mean, they're going up against a team that could potentially win the whole thing. It's probably one of the favorites to win the whole thing as well. So, and obviously, you know, Comrade Gaming with being behind 26 frags, probably likely they will lose this match. They still have another chance in the decider match.
That's what we'll look at next, actually.
Is that confirmed? I actually have no idea what game we're going to
I
next.
believe we're going to be moving over to a decider game afterwards, yes.
Okay, well, so we'll be seeing more Comrade Gaming next. And Ice Climbers, just it's nice to, you know, we didn't get to see the first match, but it's nice to go into this one to see what kind of style and what kind of, you know, pressure they're bringing into the tournament. And I'd say it's damn good, 47-21.
Well, that's it. Toronto's going to be looking to have a relaxing remainder of day one soon, as they are going to be guaranteed into day two. They will see what future awaits for them when we get further group information later on in the show. But right now on Wenger might have a little switch over. It's too late anyway, because Ice Climbers take it. 2-0. They sail into day two.